I'm not sure what to make of this. I've got those Turkish eyes looking at me and he's looking a bit... But anyway, I'm going to try and do my best. Listen, Turkish, that was very disappointing. 2 defeats in a week. No wins in the Premier League in quite some time now. And a lot of people on the pitch today for Arsenal not performing to their optimum levels. What did you make of it?
It's just stale. You know, it's very familiar, that type of a performance. That's been the typical performance all season, right? More often than not.
In recent weeks, certainly.
In recent weeks, it's been worse. I mean, it's become more of the norm. But throughout the season, it's been littered with performances like these, even early on. Like the 13 draws, not all of them came in this 2025 calendar year. So I struggle to understand what consistency Arteta's trying to find playing the strongest team again.
The only thing consistent is the leads we're throwing away. In our last 5 games, I think we've thrown away 4 leads out of 5 games.
Like if this team had played to some sort of a level consistently, I'd make more sense of trying to find that again. But this team hasn't been able to. Someone said we haven't won 5 games in a row this season, or thereabouts. So that's proof in the pudding that the consistency hasn't been there. So what consistency is Arteta trying to find out of playing the same group again, without any tweaks, without any inventiveness, without any change from the norm? That's the first point I want to make, because...
You know what, that's a very good point, because what's the old saying? The definition of madness is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting changes.
Yeah, because the Real Madrid game, listen, in isolation... What beautiful performances. What a beautiful feeling, right? But they're the anomalies since January. Since Man City 5-1, the anomalies in performances and results has been those 2 games against Real Madrid. Now, you can look at them and be on the positive side of things, or you can look at everything else around it since that Man City win, and you know, you're quite bewildered with some of the decision making. I'm starting with decision making before the players, because you know I've gotten to a few players already this week. But the decision making today to go with the strongest team should indicate you're going to win this game. Maybe you want to secure second, like you've been talking about. In the end, what happens? More mileage in those legs. Another loss at home, back to back in a week. Morale ain't going to be, you know, sky high at the moment. So essentially going in strong has backfired. But it also means that we've gone in strong and we haven't came out of it with a plan B, where surely if things ain't going your way at a certain point, like 65, 70, let's say the good old 70 mark that Wenger used to use, yeah? Start doing something different. 2 weeks ago against Ipswich, you put Zinni in the 8 and Lewis Skelly in the 6. For 20 minutes, that was nice. I mean, it's not like we was Brazil 2002, but it was nice to see something different, and you could adapt to it in in-game scenarios, match states and whatnot, right? Didn't see any of that. 86th minute this time, Ranieri's there ready, but alongside Sterling and Zinchenko. So Saka's coming off, Martinelli's coming off. Ranieri needs to play with those players. Otherwise, chucking him in against a PSG, if need be, come Wednesday, you know, could work still without having bedded in the last couple of weeks with these players. But it could also put more pressure and more, you know, problems, because he hasn't been playing with them consistently recently. But again, with 4 minutes to go, he's coming on. Like that's our back pocket, you know, hope that if things ain't going well, Ranieri will come on and hopefully change things up. It would have been nice to see Ranieri maybe with Odegaard today, since you went so strong. Because if we need a goal, if PSG go a goal up in Paris and it's 30 minutes to go, I don't think you take off an attacker. I think you bring on your quality attacker to jump in with the other. So maybe you go 2 8s, 2 10s, Ranieri and Odegaard. But I'm just talking hypotheticals here, because we haven't seen it. So it's not going to happen. And I'm sorry, but a lack of a plan B, plan C, whatever need be, at this stage, and by this stage, I don't mean just this season. I mean 5 seasons in, full seasons in, you know, 2 back-to-back title challenges. I'm sorry, it's inexcusable not to have something else in your locker, especially when, for the FA Cup, Mikel won. He had something in his back pocket. He went to a back 5. You know, then he went to a 4-2-3-1, and then it was a 4-3-3 and a mix of it. And we ended up how we ended up. We went from an attacking outlet in 22-23 to a defensively resolute, solid team in 23-24. But in 24-25, I mean, everything rests on the Champions League. We win it, fuck everything else that happened. Great, what a season. And maybe that's the fickle nature of football fans. But if you don't win it, this has probably been the most disappointing season of your management. And since be excited.
It could quite possibly be. Obviously, there's a few more games left, but obviously today was very disappointing. I want to ask you, I think it's incumbent upon me to ask you, because I asked the other guys. There was a lot of eyes on the captain today, Martin Odegaard. There was a lot of people saying that he should be stood down today, rested. Some people saying drop him. Some people saying going even further, saying that he might be relieved of the captaincy or should be relieved of the captaincy. What did you think of his performance today, and what do you think should happen with regards to Odegaard come Wednesday's game?
More of the same for me. Now, I'll caveat that with 2-3 moments in the first half, including the assist. I liked how direct he was, with his movement there, and that's been a problem that I think he's had and I've had with him, or a lot of fans have had with him. How direct he's been, playing it safe all the time. Today, I think we started the game quite sharp. We was quite. The pace of progressing the ball was a lot zippier. There was a lot more sharpness behind it than in recent weeks. So I thought, all right, maybe the instruction isn't to reset today. Maybe the instruction is to go for it. And I think our goal was nice. Rice, nice run inside. Odegaard picks it up in a bit of space, plays the ball in behind. Nice assist, nice take from Rice, nice goal. But from there, what did we do? Nothing. And on Odegaard, what did he do? Nothing. Second half comes, fades to black again. So I'm sorry, but 3-4 moments in 45 minutes against Bournemouth at home isn't going to, fill me with the most, excitement or hope that he's going to be able to make a difference against PSG. But it's not, he's been poor all season by his standards, right? But I'm looking around the pitch and it's just, I use the word stale as the first sentence. That's the word that keeps on coming to mind. There's just a lack of something in this side, and it's been lacking for the whole season. And I'll always go back to the transfer window because that's why we are here. As much as it's been a roller coaster and people thought there was going to be a title race in December, or people think or thought we're going to win the Champions League, or Man United in the FA Cup, let's get one up. We are where we are in terms of one competition to fight for yet again. It's been Premier League 2 seasons. This time it's Champions League. Not good enough. 5th season, that's not good enough. You need to challenge on multiple fronts. But we can fill ourselves up with as much hope and all of that. But the transfer window is where we left ourselves light. It's not the 7 players Arteta talks about seeing when he walked in the other day. Because Tomiyasu's always been injury prone. When he signed the contract, he was essentially injured. Gabriel Jesus, we know what it is with him. Kai Havertz, we know nothing's changing because he's been here, part of this earlier on in the season. Gabriel's solid, one of the best defenders in the world. Of course, you're going to miss him, but Kiwior has stepped up. Yes, I don't look at any of the results or performances in the last 6-7 games and I look at Kiwior and say that we lost because, or we drew because of Gabriel not being there. So as much as Gabriel's the one that stands out, okay, we've done well and Kiwior's done well in his absence. Partey, cool, 1 game he was suspended for. To name him amongst the 7 and then say 4 months for him, 3 months for... It's painting a picture where it's a clear diversion. Yes, we've been unlucky with injuries, but at the same time, really, it's only Gabriel missing from the starting lineup over the last few weeks and months. Some might argue Havertz, but I think Mourinho's done his job and more. So, to be honest, Kiwior's done Gabriel's job. I won't say and more, but he's done the job in the defensive side.
He's been a very able replacement.
It's been Saliba that's been more nervy recently. So I don't look at the injuries and say it all rests on that. I think the transfer window was, I've been through a lot as an Arsenal fan, but this transfer window in the summer, one of the biggest jokes that we've gone through, and in January again lives up to some of the, biggest misses. Because you can't call it a joke when we didn't do anything. No, you can. But it's a miss because the team were playing in the semi-final of the Champions League. They saw a market opportunity in Kvaratskhelia. They got him. And guess what? Partly involved in being a better side than they was when they faced us in the first leg. The first game in the group stage. Market opportunity. We failed to do that. So there's an example there. This week against them at the Emirates. And there'll be another example in the same player at Parc des Princes. Will they come out on top having seized that mark? Who knows? We might come out on top. I still believe we have a chance. But it's just, I look around and I'm just dejected at how the club have allowed us to go into a season where now you're looking at it, there was so much opportunity. Man City fell off the way they fell off. And by the way, they're 3 points behind us now in an FA Cup final. If they finish 3rd, 4th and an FA Cup, it's still a better season than ours. regardless of the roller coaster they've been on, because it's about a trophy and it's about memories. And the memories that hold much more weight when you lift a trophy along the way. Absolutely. Something we failed to do for 5-6 years now. So we need to. We
absolutely do. So okay then. So I would imagine fans, manager, players will want to put this behind us. It's a very disappointing day, but we do have Wednesday to look forward to. What do you think Arsenal need to do now to try and get this result against PSG on Wednesday? What do you think what we're not doing at the moment that we need to do against PSG to get the result, to get us through to the final of the Champions League?
Take some risks. Take some risks, man. Stop playing the fine margins. So yes, it might be wise to lock it up and be solid, and with 20 minutes to go, it's 0-0, we've still got a big chance. Yes, 87th minute, 0-0, we've still got a chance. How about we try and take the game to them? How about we try and flex a little? How about we try and show that we are one of the best teams on and off the ball? Because PSG did that against us at the Emirates. They turned up before they even scored 4 minutes in 3 minutes of balling out.
Yeah, they did start very impressively.
Midfield. So, we need to do that. And
would you make any changes to the team? I mean, we know Partey's going to come back in, but in terms of the personnel, the rest of the team, would you make any changes or what?
Can't. I mean, any changes I make or would make doesn't make any sense because we haven't seen Ranieri play any games. So I'm not going to say put him in cold from minute one. So we're going to see the team that we expect to see. The only thing I don't know is will Timber be ready to come back in for Ben White? If so, cool. Marino or Trossard? It has to be Marino for me. But Trossard started the last couple. Marino's come on in midfield again today. I don't know what the plan is there, but everything else picks itself, really. What do we have to do? Take risks. Do we have a chance? Yes. Our season rests on it.
Absolutely, it does. Thanks, Turkish. Nice.
Hi, we've teamed up with UK Auto Claims to see if you could be eligible to score thousands in compensation. If you've had any cars, vans or motorbikes on finance between 2007 and 2021, go to ukautoclaims.co.uk to start your free simple check. Loads of you will have overpaid and payouts could be worth thousands. So you've got to look into it. Hit up the link below and check now for free.